Hello, welcome back to episode 4 of My Drive. We are here in the picturesque Imola for what should hopefully be a decent result. We've obviously got practice up first. We've got the track climatization, which as ever goes off without a hitch. This time we had something a little bit different. I'm pretty sure it's the first time we've had the fuel saving challenge, but we managed to do that not too bad at all. We had a bit of an issue when we first started it, but we managed to save fuel throughout the lap and managed to ace that. And then, of course, to no one's surprise, the race strategy went off also without a hitch, and we actually seemed to have quite a good bit of pace. We crossed the line in P1. Coming into the session, we were shuffled down to P4, but we will take P1, even if it is momentarily. But moving into quali, so we definitely need to get a bit of a better result. We had a good few results in Bahrain. If you haven't seen the previous few episodes, make sure to go give them a look. You can see purple in sector 1, so all is looking good. And then through this sequence of corners, we dig our tyre into the gravel, we then hit the wall. And unbeknownst to me at the time, we actually carried quite a bit of damage to the car. So the following lap, you can see we're already 8 tenths down. This is because the rain started to come in, and also the damage I was not aware of obviously was hindering me quite a bit. So as the rain moved in, every lap after this obviously got worse and worse. And for what is essentially back-to-back Grand Prix, we're going to be starting at the back. And I went back in, got my car repaired, put on some more tyres, and immediately you can see it's not possible to be out in these conditions, which means we are struggling once again in quali. So hopefully we're going to have an opportunity to make ourselves up the ladder a little bit quicker than maybe we did in Australia. Australia was decent until we kind of had a bit of a blockage when we got moving forward, especially in the second race. The feature race was definitely not as productive. Obviously, the strategy not going our way, sadly. But we're obviously hopeful to get a better start and a better result here in Imola. Starting off with the sprint race, we have got Villa Gomez and we've got Crawford just ahead of us, and we are ready and underway here for the first race of the weekend. And we see what we can do. We are already pulling out to the left-hand side as we look to pass Crawford. We've got Miney on our right-hand side as we come through the kink, and immediately we're in the wall and we've destroyed our car. Now that is one hell of an impact. Sadly, the replay obviously cuts off there, which is super frustrating because I would like to see how it shaped out. Same with the rest of the race. We get some damage off of Crawford there, which is annoying, and then kind of just get taken out. We do move over slightly, but obviously I was under the impression that we was clear. I was under the impression there was no issue and there was no car on the inside, but he throws his hand up in frustration, which is a little bit funny. This is a bit of a weird one as well. So the damage we get here, he jinks to the left really aggressively, so we obviously lose an end plate. And then, yeah, as far as I was aware, I was clear. He keeps his nose in. He could have backed out, obviously he didn't. But, you know, it's kind of a bit frustrating, really, as we walk through the garage holding our head. But, you know, it's one of those things, right? What can you do? But that does mean that Zane Maloney does win the sprint race. We won't see how he won the race, but we just have to trust that he did. Followed with the rest of the results. You see Poirot in P4, Behrman P5, Hadjar P6. So are people that we are racing against and we kind of put on a pedestal who we should be competing against is doing a good job. But let's see how they shape out in this feature race. It is raining, if you couldn't tell from the background. So Gabriel Bortoletto is going to have a decent start ahead of Franco Colapinto, 2 F1 drivers, ironically. So we're going to have to keep an eye on how those two perform ahead of Isaac Hadjar and Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi being the first driver who's not a current F1 driver. Our teammate Poirot in P7, Ollie Behrman down in P10. Victor Martins, we've had a few tangles with him this year in P12. Antonelli P13. It's quite a bad qualifying from him, to be perfectly honest. Our rival Marty down in 16th as we get towards the back of the grid, where we are stationed in P21 ahead of Juan Manuel Correa. So it can't really get a lot worse than where we are currently. We can only go back one spot, but we can go forward quite a few places. So hopefully that's something we'll be able to maintain. As you can see, it is raining cats and dogs on circuit right now, and these brave souls are wearing t-shirts, some of them without umbrellas. So you know what, I respect that massively. They're definitely going to have a cold in the morning, but we are ready for the 5 lights to go out for kind of the first race, really. We have a bit of a okay start. We get a little bit of wheel spin. We're able to pass Villa Gomez and Crawford. We're able to go up the inside, and we've got Miney just ahead of us. And we're going to go to the right-hand side this way. We can't get swiped out. Warning for contact with Crawford. We're going on the grass a little bit, trying to avoid Miata. We almost hit the 50-meter board. We almost go into the back of Miata again, but we managed to keep it on the tarmac. We got Barnard to our left, almost 3 abreast ahead of us, which is obscene in these conditions. We're going to get good traction, so we're past Barnard, and we're probably going to filter in behind Miata, see if he can maybe make a move. Coming into the hairpin, the hairpin's a good opportunity to make a move. Everyone's line astern, so if we can sneak up the inside of Miata, that would be great. Trying to take advantage while everybody's going slowly, and we'll try and follow Marty through the big slide on the exit of the hairpin. Big snap on the exit of the hairpin. We make a little bit of contact with Miata on our outside, so we're going to be side by side as we climb up the hill. We're going to have the inside line, which is going to be good news for us because we're going to take full advantage of that. Run it out wide, make sure we don't go into the gravel, and yeah, kind of try and settle into this race. Obviously only on lap 2, and the conditions are outrageous, a lot worse than I can imagine. You can see we're struggling to get on traction even just there. So we've got a yellow flag in the sector coming up. It goes green briefly, so we got up the inside of Marty. We see the yellow flag again, so we're back under yellows. We've got Gabriel Bortoletto set the fastest lap. On the left-hand side, we've got Colin Pinto, who's parked up. So something's happened, and it looks like we've got a red flag. So I presume, it's his session done. So we're going to get on the way again. We're going to be starting from lap 5. We're a little bit further forward this time than we was before in P14. We get a good start. We've got Vishur on our left-hand side, Antonelli, who has made no progress. We've got Hauger, who had an awful start, so we're going to go all the way to the left-hand side. Quite a stark contrast than to before. We're going to have to be really careful because we don't want to get swiped out, and we go quite conservative, let's call it, into the first braking zone. We've got Martins and Behrman just ahead. Martins we're going to have to be careful with because we have collided with him a few times. And we've got an objective just to work on tyre wear, but sadly that's not going to happen. We've got another yellow flag, followed up with a safety car. No idea what this was for. There was no way for us to see. No one retired. Nobody had anything crazy of an incident. So we're just going to resume the race once the safety cars are started. I'm going to be on the back of Behrman through these S's sections. We've got a great run out of here. As you can see, we're all over the back of him, which gives us a great opportunity to go down the inside at this corner. It may not be able to fight back in these conditions, and he doesn't. So that moves us up into the top 10, into the points, which it feels like it's been a very long time since we've been able to do that. You can just see through this section. We had such a good run. And obviously having the inside line, especially in conditions like this, is so crucial. And we do manage to get moving forward. We're coming through this chicane. You can see there's a stationary Hajar just on the middle of the exit of the chicane. So that's another safety car for us. We do move up one position. We move up to P9. And we're on the penultimate lap already. All these safety cars really have eaten into the race. So much so, look at the tyre wears, non-existent. So we're behind Martins on the penultimate lap. We're going to see if we can make any inroads through the same section we had on Behrman. We seem to have a bit of pace for the section. We almost lose it through there, so not much of an advantage, but he didn't have a great section either. So we're going to be down the inside of Martins, very similar to Behrman, and he almost jumps out of the way, which is amazing for us. We're now up onto the back of Maloney, who also doesn't really seem interested in fighting this. We do go quite a bit deep, so there was an opportunity for him to switch back at us, but luckily for us, he also seems to be struggling with traction. So we've definitely kept our tyres a good nick, which kind of helps, and it kind of shows why we're getting better traction out some of these corners than the AI. Bortoletto goes fastest. As the track, you can see, is drying up a little bit. But we'll take a P7 across the line, as we kind of do need a little bit of good fortune. We haven't been really fortunate in the feature races of the last two, especially in Australia. So a P7 is definitely good points on the board. It could have been more if we actually managed to qualify a bit better. You know, hopefully for the following races, if we could qualify, that's probably a good start. So we definitely need to focus on that just a little bit more. But our teammate Paul Aaron in P6, ourselves in P8 in the end, I believe, over the weekend in terms of points. But nonetheless, that is good for the drivers, and the constructors were getting there quite nicely. I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. It's quite a short one. Let me know what you think of that crash in the comments below. If you have enjoyed, make sure to slap a like and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one, which is Monaco. We'll be running a tribute helmet. Till then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.